There have been many great and amazing achievements from women who have worked along with oceans. As the economic value of oceans becomes more prominent, the maritime industry also is becoming a driving force for the creation of future national wealth and new growth. The empowering leadership of women CEOs will help pave the path for the global maritime industry along with the transformation of the 21st century. We are in need of a platform dedicated towards enhancing the potential of women leaders to help bring to realization future leading maritime countries. Global Conference for Women in Maritime. Opening remark. Congratulatory remark. Keynote speaker. Session 1. Safety and Logistics. The impact and response of safety on global logistics. Session 2. Work-life imbalance. Wise work-life balance for sustainable growth. Session 3. Women in Trade. Sharing the new evolution of global trade. Session 4. Women Leadership. Women in leadership in times of change, innovation, and opportunity. Share and expand knowledge and insights of women in maritime leadership. Connecting to the future. The Global Conference for Women in Maritime is being held to share and expand existing knowledge and insights with female leaders. Continuous growth and change of maritime industry in the midst of the crisis that humanity is facing today. Women are strong and inspiring role models, laying the foundation for a better future. Join us, be women changemakers.
Good morning. I am your MC of today, Ms. Lee, for the Global Conference for Women in Maritime. The Global Conference is named by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism and the Korea Tourism Organization as a promising K-convention event organized to support the local MICE industry and enhance the global competitiveness. So today's conference is prepared to expand international women network as the maritime industry continues to grow amid the pandemic, global climate change, and other crises that we are facing. The Global Conference for Women in Maritime aims to develop future women leaders and build global collaboration network for business leaders in maritime and fisheries, which is the key pillar and the future growth engine of the Busan city. As you know, Busan is the really center of the maritime and fisheries business. Now to open up the conference, let me invite Executive Committee Chair of the Global Conference for Women in Maritime and the CEO of the convention, the organization of this event. Please welcome CEO Lee Bong-sun to the stage with a big round of applause. I'd like to welcome all the participants to the Global Conference for Women in Maritime 2021 and the Secretary General Im Gi-taek, IMO, and the Minister Moon Sung-hyuk of Oceans and Fisheries, and the Honorable Ambassador Maria Costa Pardanedes of the EU to Korea, and President Despina Panayotou Datosu of Wista International. Thank you very much. And now from all around the world, many people are now joining us. So thank you all. And out of their busy schedule, we also have great guests here as well. My sincere thanks goes to them as well. To have today's event, the organizing committee of the Global Women Leader has been really helping. And Mr. Yu Soo-han and all the other organizing committee members have been instrumental. I'd like to thank them as well, taking this opportunity. And also, Mary O'Neill Sophie Kang of the IWFCI. I'd like to thank her for her support. And also, from the Korea University, Kim In-young professor. And without their support, maybe we couldn't really have today's event. And the Global Conference for Women in Maritime 2021 today is now embarking its journey today. In the era of digital transformation, things are changing so fast in the maritime industry and the world has changed. However, around the world, the women in the maritime industry is only 1.2%. So there is unlimited potential that we can really unlock and really need to involve more women, and that is the purpose of this conference. We still want to do more with the conference, but before we planning this conference, my background was in the maritime industry, so I had this strong passion to really support the women in the industry. For us, ocean, what does it mean? I think it is the unlimited opportunities for our future business. The maritime industry is now going through a lot of changes and rapid changes, which requires the capabilities of women, and we need to engage more women so that we can really generate more opportunities from this huge potential, not just for the COVID-19, but due to the climate change, the whole humankind is now faced with a lot of challenges. And the women leaders in the maritime industry will share their experiences. So, to support the sustainable growth of the maritime industry and also to have the sustainable networking opportunities, the Global Conference for Women in Maritime 2021 has been prepared. I would like to ask your active participation, not just in the maritime industry, but in every sector. There has been many great women leaders and CEOs and business leaders. And I hope this conference will be a great platform to expand the networking opportunities. Many women CEOs in Korea will have expanded a global network, and we want to present the right directions for the leadership, and we will share more ideas. For the global market and global stage, there are many leaders who are active, and we also want to develop the next generation women leaders by sharing their ideas and wisdom and experiences so that they can explore new opportunities here in the global conference. The Global Conference for Women in Maritime 2021 will be a great opportunity to share the insights and build a network and also identify and develop the young generations and build their capacity, and we will do our part in supporting them. And in every part of the world, there are many changes, and we will lead the changes, and we will be the women change makers. So I would like to send my applause for them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, CEO Lee. Thank you for your great opening remark. And with that, we are opening today's conference. And now we will listen to some congratulatory remark as well. The next remark is by Secretary General Im Gi-taek of IMO.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to congratulate you on the organization of the first edition of the Global Conference for Women in Maritime. We need events like this to raise the profile of women in the maritime sector. Building a greener and more sustainable maritime sector will rely on having engaged workers. It is a fact that diverse workforce benefits the sector as a whole. The inclusion of women in the workforce and in leadership roles is fundamental to our global economic growth. Today, you will hear from many speakers who will share their journeys in the maritime community with you. I'm certain that these stories will inspire you. I'm hopeful that together we can enhance the participation of women in the industry and build a more inclusive and sustainable maritime industry. I wish you all a fruitful conference. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a remark by the Secretary General of IMO, Mr. Ki-taek Lim. And now we will invite Mr. Sung Hyuk-moon, Minister of Ministry of the Oceans and Fisheries.
대단히 반갑습니다.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Minister Moon of the Fisheries and Ocean in Korea. Congratulations to the opening of the GCWM. Ocean science, ocean environment, and tourism. These are important issues that we face in the sea area, and this maritime industry that was deemed preserved for the male is now seeing a great increase in the number of women participants. However, female students account for only 38% in the maritime-related universities across the world and 1.2% of the total seafarers population. So it seems like that we need to make more effort to completely break the glass ceilings in the field. Against this backdrop, I sincerely welcome the opening of the first Global Conference for Women in Maritime. And I believe that this is a great opportunity to expand female leaders' experience and know-how in the field. Once again, congratulations to the opening of the conference, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
해양수산부 장관님의 축사였는데요.
Thank you very much. That was the Minister of the Oceans and Fisheries. And next, despite the busy schedule, we have Ms.
We have the EU Ambassador to ROK, Maria Castillo Fernandez, for the remark as well. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
The opening of the 2021 Global Conference for Women in Maritime. And I would like to thank the organizing committee and Lee Convention Corporation for hosting this important event. While there has been progress, we can say that no country in the world is on track to achieve gender equality by 2030. And of course, COVID-19 pandemic has certainly exacerbated existing gender inequalities, and lockdowns have resulted in an increase in gender-based violence. We have therefore to redouble our efforts in promoting gender equality across all sectors, including the maritime sector. A sector that, as you all well know, is very much male-dominated. Still, hope that it soon can change. Gender equality is a core value of the action of the European Union. It's a key priority both in our internal activities but also in our external policies. Try to empower women more. Therefore, it's also a cross-cutting issue throughout all our actions and all our policies. We have our legal framework, the European Union Gender Equality Strategy for 2020-2025, and the Gender Action Plan 3 for 2021-2025. I hope we can ensure progress both within, inside and outside the European Union. Reaffirming our commitment to put gender equality first is something we all want to do. And there has been a recent, last week, joint op-edited edition in the different Korean media from both the European, the High Representative Borrell, and Commissioner Orpin-Lianen. We therefore welcome and encourage the Republic of Korea to continue promoting gender equality and the empowerment of women, and certainly to encourage women to participate in those sectors that are certainly male-dominated, such as the maritime and ocean sectors. Therefore, it's very important that you have this discussion today, that you put these issues on the table openly, and therefore hope that from these discussions there could be some change in the making, and certainly I look forward to hearing very much the results of this discussion. As you know, I like Busan. I have been here in many discussions of the maritime sector, a key sector also for EU-Korea relations, and I'm also a woman, and I put gender equality at the heart of my job, but also at the heart of who I am. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
네, 주한
Thank you very much for the congratulatory remarks. Thank you very much once again. And last but not least, we will hear from President of WISTA International, Ms. Daspina Panayotou. We'll have a congratulatory remarks with a video. Please watch the video.
Good day, everyone. My name is Despina Panayotou Theodosiou. I am the co-CEO of Theodosiou Maritime and currently the president of WISTA, the Women's International Shipping and Trading Association. To get where I am, I have followed the same leadership training as many other industry leaders, but been fortunate enough to find a place where the potential of diversity in the workplace is recognized and used to great effect. In a world of difference, diversity is becoming a recognized asset. A diversity of people gives a diversity of ideas, ideas where they're needed. As we see change and challenge around us, so we need a diversity of ideas in the office, on the factory floor, or in the boardroom. To always bring the same people to the table to deal with problems in the same way they have done before and believe they can magically disappear, it's not going to work. To find new things, new ideas, new products, new partnerships, new revenue streams requires new thinking and fresh minds. The best way to bring in new thinking is to bring in diverse thinking and the ability to listen to different ideas without it becoming defensive. But that's not just it. We need to stop thinking about the voice of women being only the voice of diversity discussions. We need men to be part of the diversity discussion, and we need the voices of women to be amongst those talking about climate solutions, technology solutions, business and partnership challenges, or about change for the better. It is time for the voices about diversity and gender to be as mixed as we want the discussions about business and change. Listen to the ideas, not the gender of the voice. As a woman, I'm proud of what I do and represent in the maritime industry. But I'm also a leader who is proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with anyone who shares my passion for a successful, future-oriented maritime sector. Thank you for listening to me, and I wish you successful deliberations at the conference.
네, 회장님 축사
Thank you for the congratulatory remark. All the remarks made us feel great about this conference, and I believe that we can move on for the next session now. For this conference, we've received a lot of congratulatory remarks, so I would like to thank all the videos that we received again. And I believe that today's conference is about sharing our knowledge and insight and experience in the field. And I see that a lot of participants are joining us for today's conference on and offline. Thank you for joining us today. And as I told you earlier, the global conference for Women in Maritime is being live streamed on YouTube channel as well. We have both Korean and English live streaming for this conference, and we can also receive questions in real time on the webpage and YouTube channel. So please make use of that too. So now we are going to start the keynote session of today's conference. The president of the WMU sent a video for us. Please welcome her with a big round of applause.
The Global Conference for Women in Maritime Organizing Committee and the Lee Convention Limited. Conference sponsors: the Korea Maritime Industry Association, the Korea Ports and Harbors Association, and the Korea Leisure Network. Conference supporters: WISTA Asia Regional Chapter and the International Federation of Commerce and Industry. Dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to address a keynote speech at the opening ceremony of this important conference, entitled 2021 Global Conference for Women in Maritime. The conference covers several important topics, namely women in leadership, maritime security, work-life balance, and women in trade. Let me first start with the topic on women in leadership. Across the world, we have witnessed more women taking positions as heads of governments, ministers, leaders of international organizations, and private entities, as well as important roles as scientists, engineers, pilots, seafarers, doctors, judges, among others. More importantly, public awareness of gender equality is on the rise. Gender equality, Goal 5 of the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, seeks to achieve equality and empower all women and girls. It is designed to be a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. In 2019, empowering women in the maritime community was selected as the World Maritime Day theme by the International Maritime Organization. And the United Nations celebrated this year's World Ocean Day on 8th June 2021 with the theme Gender and the Ocean. However, we must also acknowledge that we are still very far from equal rights and equal opportunities for everyone between men and women, and particularly in leadership positions. The lack of women's participation and representation in the maritime and ocean sectors have traditionally been dominated by men. Women today still account for about 1.28% of the total seafaring population. The latest Global Ocean Science Report 2020 revealed that women continue to be underrepresented in ocean science, particularly in the highly technical categories. More importantly, the level of female representation varies significantly from country to country. Female ocean science personnel range from about 7% in the Democratic Republic of the Congo to 72% in Ireland of all ocean science personnel. Let's also talk about women's leadership in the digital age. Digital transformation involves the reshaping of the very context and the structure of organizations. These have strong implications for leadership and its practices and theory with regards to leaders, their capabilities, and how they implement this change. Two important areas are highlighted in order to make progress with respect to digital transformation.
The first is leadership capabilities, and the second is operationalizing and implementing digital transformation. Leadership capabilities that are considered necessary for success are described as the ability, and I identify a list of elements, the ability to create a transformative digital vision, to energize employees by engagement, to focus on the digital governance, and to build technological leadership. Digital governance is the process of steering a company's digital activities towards the strategic vision while building technological leadership, entailing the enabling and merging of IT leaders with the present business model. Are these leadership qualities relevant to the maritime industry? I would say a definitely yes. Yes. In fact, digital transformation and women's leadership are important for this conference discussions. They relate to how can maritime security be strengthened with technological leadership? How can technological leadership facilitate a better work-life balance? And how can women lead digital transformation? The second topic of this conference deals with maritime security. Women and maritime security is an important topic in the industry as well as in the international community. The UN Security Council met at the United Nations headquarters in New York on the 21st of October 2021 to discuss women, peace and security agenda as the world remains in a state of crisis, almost 2 years into the COVID-19 pandemic. Violence, conflict, political and humanitarian crises have displaced 82.4 million people from their homes. 115 million people are living today in extreme poverty, and 100 million do not have enough to eat, up from 77 million last year. Against this background, women continue to be underrepresented in the COVID-19 response and other decision-making fora. Although women's labor, paid and unpaid, and their leadership in communities keep families cared for. The UN Secretary General's 2021 report on women, peace and security makes an urgent call for action. Action to reduce military spending and to increase investment in peace building, in education, in health, and in other public programs. Reversing the upward trajectory in military spending is a priority for the women's movement for peace and a core commitment of the United Nations. The UN peacekeeping operations accounts for only 0.3% of global military spending and places a strong focus on delivering on women, peace and security commitments. Taking this international vision on women, peace and security, what is the role of the maritime industry? We often talk about security as an extension of maritime business, often in the context of risk management. The maritime industry, however, has a huge potential to invite women in maritime to respond to the complex maritime security challenges of our time. As stated earlier, digital transformation requires everyone's involvement. Therefore, it is crucial to include women in the discussions and to help lead the agenda. The third topic in this conference is about work-life balance. Private sector performance on gender equality varies widely depending on country, on sector, on company size, as well as corporate leadership and culture, with small and medium-sized enterprises experiencing the greatest challenges. The private sector, including employer and business membership organizations, plays a central role in fostering and enabling an environment in which women can meaningfully participate and thrive in the economy through proactive, transformative, and measurable workplace policies and practices. Company policies are key in complementing, strengthening, and enhancing national laws and policies and help stimulate transformative change within societies. Statistically, gender diversity is a predictor of increased profits and productivity, 62.6%, an increase in recruitment and retention, 59.7%, greater creativity, openness, and innovation, 59.1%, enhanced company reputation, 57.8%, and the ability to better gauge consumer interest and demand, 37.9%. When employees feel that they will be valued equally, they are more likely to feel safe in making their unique contributions and are more likely to remain with a company. A commitment to equal pay for work of equal value also benefits companies. By making this commitment, a company attracts talent and experience, a much higher retention rate for women employees. Closing the gender gap helps increase the performance and the productivity of the workforce. It also contributes to increased growth and sustainability for companies and the economy at large. A proactive approach to ensuring employees' work-life balance, including in times of crises, promotes the well-being and equality of a company's workforce and enhances the company's bottom line. Research by the Boston Consulting Group finds that most businesses with paid family leave report a positive return on their investment in implementing the policies. Employers reported benefits such as improved employee retention, the ability to attract the best talent, reinforced company values, improved employee engagement, morale and productivity, and enhanced brand equity. Similarly, over 90% of employers that offered paid family leave benefits found that the impact was positive or neutral on costs. These positive effects are probably linked to improved employee satisfaction, which enhances recruitment and retention. A survey found that 77% of workers agreed that the availability of paid leave can affect where they choose to work. A study by the International Finance Corporation showed that the provision of childcare benefits increased employee retention and made for better recruitment, higher productivity, and improved reputation. An ILO study also showed that small investments by small and medium-sized enterprises in supporting breastfeeding yielded returns on investment by maintaining employee retention and satisfaction. Trade can dramatically improve women's lives, creating new jobs, enhancing consumer choice, and increasing women's bargaining power in society. But women's relationship with trade is complex, as can also lead to job losses and a concentration of work in lower skilled jobs. In order to enhance and ensure that trade provide opportunities for everyone, regardless of gender, policymakers should assess the potential impact of trade rules on various groups of people and develop policy responses based on evidence. According to the World Bank report on women and trade, it is noted that trade can expand women's role in the economy, decrease inequality, and improve women's access to skills and education. The key findings include, and I quote, exporters could employ more women. In developing countries, women make up 33% of the workforce of exporting firms, compared with just 24% of non-exporting firms. Trade creates better jobs for women. When women are employed in sectors with high levels of exports, they are more likely to be formally employed in a job with better benefits, training, and security. Trade increases women's wages as well as economic equality. Developing countries that double their manufacturing exports, a typical increase for developing countries that open themselves to trade, would also see women increase their share of total manufacturing wages from 24% to 30% through a combination of increased employment and higher salaries. Based on the evidence, what can we do? Let me talk about our contribution as WMU. We have to continue the fight for women's empowerment at all levels and in every field, in every sector of the economy. A crucial tool is to achieve this through education and training. I am very proud to say that at WMU, during the 37 years that it has provided education, over 1,100 women, female graduates of WMU have gone on to work in various government agencies and in national institutions. Many of them hold very senior positions, which is an important indicator of progress. Currently, we have a 35% women intake for a master's degree in maritime affairs at our campus in Malmö, Sweden. We are continuing to work with our donors to provide more fellowships for female students. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the hosts and supporters of this conference, the stakeholders and the industry partners of South Korea, who are very important supporters of WMU. 2021 is a very important year for us, our WMU community. The United Nations Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development began this year, developing scientific knowledge, building infrastructure, and fostering relationships for a sustainable and healthy ocean. At WMU, we are committed to making a contribution to the Decade of Ocean Science through education, through research in maritime and ocean sciences. As part of our contribution to the decade, we at WMU will continue to promote gender equality in ocean science. Our research and capacity building programs on empowering women for the United Nations Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development was officially endorsed by IOC UNESCO. Through this program, we are committed to contributing and facilitating the empowerment of women in the conduct of ocean science, as well as in delivering science-based decision-making processes in ocean governance systems. We work closely with the maritime and ocean industry partners. Without the industry, there are no jobs. Because there are jobs, and talent demands that we as educators can contribute to resource the best talent needed for future maritime and ocean industries through education and research. Investing in young leaders, particularly women, will lead to a sustainable future for maritime and ocean industries. We are always opening our doors to our industry partners who wish to sponsor young talent to study at WNU. Are we ready to take on the challenge? Yes, we are ready. But we need role models. We need you to engage with WMU to make it possible. Yes, we can. Yes, it is possible. Yes, we must. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the great speech. As a woman as well, I really want to speak up. That was very inspirational. Thank you once again. Please give a big round of applause. That concludes the morning session, and let me introduce about the program for the afternoon session. For session 1, we'll talk about the safety, and the Kim In-yeon, professor of the School of Law, Korea University, will moderate the session. And for session 2, we have the CEO Yoo Jung-im of Busan Gyeongnam region of News One. And for session 1, we'll talk about the women trade and the women leadership. In session 4, we have diverse sessions prepared. So before we close the morning session, that was for the introduction on the afternoon session. So afternoon session will begin at 2 p.m. So all the participants who are joining us online and offline. So that's the end of the morning program, and we will come back at 2 p.m. for the other session. Thank you very much.
And also, this global conference for women in